What's up, guys? It's your boy, Vince Ryder. This is a random one. I don't know about you guys, but I know some of you guys are bored out of your mind. Well, let me recommend you something, okay? I know you have a phone. You're watching this on a phone. I know you are. And I just gotta be recommending y'all some, mobile games because, well, I mean, what other things are you gonna do, huh? You're just gonna chill and you're on your bed like me and just I don't know anymore. I don't even know what you're doing. But other than that, I'm just gonna talk about because for those that don't know, I used to have a channel. Oh man, I gotta stop referencing that. That it's getting kind of tiring. But for those that don't know, my other channel, I used to be a gameplay channel, and I used to have a bunch of gameplays, and most of them was mostly mobile games because those were easier to record, especially before Apple had the screen recording thing. But yeah, this is basically I still play mobile games. It's just that I don't showcase it anymore, unless it's like reading kind of game or a dating game or something like some of my subs like. But personally, I just don't really stream or record mobile games because honestly, it's I tried and it didn't work out for me. Okay, it didn't work out, so I'm just sticking with this, and hopefully, this will actually replace it or something. So, other than that, yeah, we're just gonna talk about you know 10 my top 10 mobile games that I played in 2020. Now, let me tell you right now, I'm not a gaming channel. I'm just supporting the bored ones. Okay, when you're bored out of your mind, you kind of want to do something, and it's anything in the phone. And when you have one, you kind of just want to go on an adventure and escape reality. So these are the games that help me escape reality in a sense of just playing for like a couple minutes because I'm not a gamer much, and just I guess go back to real life, studying or making vids or something like that. But this is just personally my list of one of the games that I really enjoyed that helped me, I guess, get through quarantine and also just get my itch within the games I play. Now, I will say this that don't worry, these games are not like, gotcha. Well, actually, there's some gotcha, but, these games are not like cash grabbing or, in some sense, like not even like have a bunch of ads or something. These are just games that I just found because I play a bunch games on my phone. I mean, I have my Switch and PC, but I'm lazy. So when I have my phone, I was like, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna just get something on the App Store and boom, just like that. Just I don't know. I don't know, man. But yeah, just a couple of games that I will recommend you guys if you're bored as hell and you want to play something because here it is. Okay, this is something for y'all to enjoy, and I got you. Okay, I got you. These are and plus I do have a couple of gamers within my sub base, at least what I found out. But yeah, I mean, this is just the 10 games that I played during quarantine during 2020 that I actually enjoyed, and pretty much they helped me get through, I guess, life or stress or just. Or if I'm bored as hell, I would just be like, you know what? I just really am active, but I don't feel like getting out of my bed. So I'm just like, oh yeah, that's right. Let's play some of these games, okay? These are the games that I'm about to talk to about because well, these are my personal favorites, and this is just a fun list, okay? I just want to help you guys out. If you're beyond bored, then here it is, okay? From an ex Let's Player myself, and RP my gameplays because they're gone in RP my channel, but this is just my 10 games that I personally enjoyed. And if you know me personally, you know what's my number one. It's not even a secret. But other than that, let's just get to these top tens. And they're gonna be kind of questionable and weird depending on who it is. And this is mostly on iOS because I have an iOS phone and I have one phone because well, if I was balling with cash and money, I probably wouldn't, and also I probably wouldn't be playing mobile games if I was balling with cash. I probably would spend a good amount on a PS5 or a new PC or something like that. But since I'm poor, these are the top 10 free. Oh, hello. What's that word? What did I say? Yeah, you heard me. Free. Top free mobile games that you can play that are bombing. Okay, that are fire. At least to me, it is, and you're about to witness it starting now. So number 10 is this. It's pretty much one of my favorite puzzle games that I enjoyed playing in the beginning of the year. It's called High Rise, a puzzle seascape, where basically it's not like, there's a bunch of, puzzle games, one with the whole like, match tree concept, one's with the, I guess, guessing game or something. I don't know. All I can think of is the match tree. Ones that move, platforms, and ones that involve you to actually explore an adventure or platform puzzles. But this one is actually a puzzle game that is just simple and just, well, not that big. I wasn't even planning to put this in the list, but I was thinking like, okay, well, at one point I used to actually, believe it or not, made puzzle gameplays. God, that was a long time ago, actually. And then I stopped. I was like, what am I doing? And of course, one of those games was, this one when I ended that series. But it's called High Rise. It's pretty much the concept of, trying to put cities together and seeing if you can actually stack cities, but also put in, like, if you see the gameplay, you know why I like it. It's just quick. It's so like easy to understand, and it's kind of very addictive. At least the first, couple of 30 minutes that I play it. For some reason, I say 30 minutes. Well, that's just amount that I play a game in general. But some of these games, I play more than 30 minutes. Don't worry. But for my favorite puzzle game of all time, right now, as we speak, as with the budget I have, and pretty much for free games, yeah, this one is kind of like one of the best, at least in the sense of simplicity and just kind of like city building, like this mix of city building and trying to different strategies of how to get bigger points within this game. Like, it's enjoyable. I really enjoy it. It's also my favorite kind of like podcast game. If I want to listen to something, or if I want to wait, for something, I just kind of play this game for a couple quick minutes. I'm done. At least I can say the same for all games. But for this game, it's kind of like, you put it away and then, you don't have to worry about it because, it's just plain simple. It's kind of like it's good puzzle game. Good, check it out. Seascapes. It's free, obviously, because these are 10 free games. And it's kind of like surprising these are, 10 free, because some of them almost seem like they wouldn't be free, but it makes sense why they're free. And, of course, they're still getting money, and, it doesn't. But yeah, number 10 for High Rise, a puzzle seascape. Number 9 is a game where I had so many memories of playing, because it's kind of like a social media game in itself. I'm not sure if you would count this as a game, but it is a game in the sense that you are battling people out, trying to find out who's the smartest. And it goes into different directions. And I'm talking about Trivia Royale. I really enjoy Trivia Royale. The friends that I, gathered, or at least you can call it friends. I mean, I got a couple followers in that game, and pretty much I got a good amount of views when doing a gameplay of this. So I really enjoy Trivia Royale. It's not the game that would be my favorite. I honestly do not like question, like Family Feud or Want to Be a Millionaire. These question games, these games that involve you to get smart. I just don't see the appeal for it. I mean, if I was wanting to get rich and me thinking that I'm smart, which sometimes I'm not, honestly, but I know a couple things. I know actually, you know what? I was about to bring an astronomy kind of, reference, but I don't know ish about astronomy. But I know a couple things. But Trivia Royale is it's a game that I personally really enjoy. Just the people that I gathered around that. A good friend that I made in Trivia Royale. Pretty much, she was just, we're like, oh, so you got a chance, because I do have notifications on that game. And I was like, they were like calling me out like, oh, you want to play, I was like, oh, bring it on, I'm kind of busy, but I'm going to do a little quick sesh to show you who's the smartest. And it's a good Royale. It's actually a very brilliant kind of interesting, different take on battle royales in sense of trivias. So this game, it just, it goes into different like subjects, and it doesn't have a lot, but it has a good amount where you can choose from, that you can, just whatever you're smart about when it comes to like books, music. Even they have like TikTok dances there as well. And they have some other stuff that is trendy and they sometimes update it to actually give you more stuff, and also good connection with getting followers, and also unlock, to make your own like avatar or something like that. So I kind of enjoyed just the interesting aspects of the game, and also the moments of me winning. I mean, I love to win. So yeah, Trivia Royale, just enjoy it. If you're like I wouldn't say I'm an extrovert, but if you are, then you probably would get this game because you would enjoy it. I promise you. Number 8 is a game that is happens to be very early. I played this really early and I couldn't stop playing. And I'm talking about Headland. I'm not a fan of with this like this. There's this trend within mobile gaming that happens to have you just use one hand and the other hand's free. But no, the other hand's free, and well, pretty much your one hand is the one hand that is actually just doing most of the work. Sometimes either you're a lefty or righty. Um, you have a free hand and you have a hand that is busy. Okay, I don't know what's up with the trends with that with these portrait games, but it's hidden, and I know this game is hidden. It's a platformer, and it's a game that I kind of like. It's a little weird. It's basically like a top down platformer, and I know sometimes the games like that can be, because there's just so many, and they're mostly within guns, you know, auto shooters or something. But this one just has that. It's kind of like a free Zelda-ish, hack and slash game that has you go through adventures. And even though I'm in the early heads of it, because that's why it's in, pretty much in, in the beginnings of this list, I kind of really enjoyed it. I feel like, man, I found a interesting gem that I kind of enjoyed. At first, I thought it was going to be like a game that is exclusive for, Apple Arcade, which, by the way, I could easily put Apple Arcade games in here. But some of you guys don't even have like an Apple Arcade account or something. And for those kiddos that are really wanting to play a game that, your parents can trust and also that's free, then, well, this is the list that I kind of made. I could have put that in the beginning. But Headland is such an enjoyable, you know, good old hack and slash action game, I would say. Yeah, I don't know. Just go check it out. You know what I mean. But this one just seems to be a jewel. I mean, you do have to pay. I think you have to pay a little bit when you, like, a little more for more levels and stuff. But overall, due to what I have right now and the content that I gave you for, like the trial or something, it is a good amount. It is a good amount, and I really enjoyed it. It's high quality. It's simple. I like the collecting aspect and the upgrading the weapons. I really enjoyed it. It's not too tedious, and it's not like over like simplified, like, oh, too easy and stuff. There's some challenges through it, and you gotta get used to the controls with your one hand. Sometimes it does take a little bit used to, but overall, Headland is actually, it's not bad. Not next up for number 7 is Cartwright Rush. Now, for those that are interested of getting like Mario Kart, I know for a fact that that game is hitting hard out there, especially other kart games that was coming out in 2020, like this Crash Bandicoot remake or something, and Mario Circuit, where it's basically like an RC car, really literally in real life that you can actually play. And also, it's also like implemented within on the Switch. But if you want to witness that, and if you want something free, and you don't have to pay much or nothing, basically, then for this free game right here, it's like Mario Kart, but it's free. There are some gotcha elements. I did not like the music in the background, to be honest, with this one. But I really enjoyed Cartwright Rush. I was surprised how it's free. How it's literally like a free Mario Kart kind of, game. It's like Mario Kart but free, but with a different like company. Obviously, this could have been easily on the Switch or easily from Nintendo, but it was a good time waster. The story was here and there sometimes, and especially this is kind of like, I guess, a game that will be a little bit more catered for kids, but it's actually not bad. It's a pretty good kart rider. It's a good racing game. Good race car game that happens to have like a lot of arcade elements and different game modes and stuff like that. It's actually pretty. It's pretty good. It's pretty. You unlock different carts. There's a lot of them, different characters. achievements and just the whole batch when it comes to a gotcha game. But still, it's actually a pretty good, kart racer if you're wanting something, I guess, free. If you want that itch to actually, I can't get Crash Bandicoot or something, because of course, these games cost money. But if you want a free one, if you want to get your, the gears rolling when it comes down to kart racers, then this one is it. Definitely check it out. Number six is an interesting, like, I guess, GTA inspired game. Now, let me be honest. I never played two. I mean one. But of course, we're talking about two. Smash Road wanted two. I mean, this game is just, it's a fun kind of like action pack. It has some interesting, you know, concept when it comes to the action of the game, because you're basically just escaping from the cops, and it's cops and robbers. But in this game form, you unlock different carts, and overall, when it comes to any kind of arcade game with that, sort of like arcade GTA mechanic, this one seems to, do it very well when it, especially this, simple kind of arcade feel of the game. And in my struggles of really, trying to sell it, I'm not trying to sell it. I'm just telling you that personally for me, I really like games when it comes to that type of havoc. And I always like games when it comes to just trying to really, the more detailed you are, the more you're able to escape the cops. There's different crevices and different like places you can escape from the cops. If you're trying not to, if you try to escape from them, you can ride a boat. I'm not sure if you can ride a helicopter. I tried doing that. I'm not sure if you can, but you can, any car, of course, and then you just, all the action is controlled to you, creating your own kind of like action movie, I guess. But in this simplistic like 8-bit form, or just 3D 8-bit. I don't know. I don't know what you call it. But I enjoy this, okay? It's addictive. I really do dig these kind of games. Used to play these, a lot. There was a couple arcade games out there. I think Crossy Road was one of them. And from there, they just keep evolving to actually make these cool, catchy kind of games that and just throws you into action. Next up is, in number 5, is an interesting this is how interesting my life is, okay? It's just so ironic that I'm lazy and I really, there's times where I just, feel like, cleaning my house would be more productive. But a game that involves you cleaning a house seems to be more compelling than real life itself. I don't know, life sucks. What do you want from me? I just happen to play a game that is basically just you literally clean your own house, or at least flipping a house. You clean different houses. Look, it's just a relaxing game. I am not a fan of design games, but when I design the house, when I design it, from all the options that it gives me, the colors that I choose, the interesting colors that I never thought would, work, or I never saw within a house, honestly, because I'm not much of a house maker or a real estater. But for this one, the option to design and remake, it's so satisfying to know, because at one point when I first saw House Flipper, which was on PC, and it was a couple years ago, this is nothing new. This is basically the mobile version. I saw House Flipper and I was like, oh my goodness, this house is interesting. I don't see the hype behind it at all, but my goodness, it looks satisfying. I don't know. I just really like those kind of games. I'm a fan of satisfying, like, like, oh, you see this car? Look how dirty it is. Look at all this like acid and just all this, like feces all over it. Like, ugh, look at the, the dirt, basically showing the wrecked up car. But then it shows you the process of, cleaning it, detail after detail. And to me, that's satisfying. The way it washed the windows, the way it clean. Look, I know I probably sound weird already. Okay, am I a maniac? I probably am. But it, clean the windows, clean the, the crevices within the car. The carpets. Washing them, taking them out, and putting them back in. Removing the seats, taking all the junk in there. Like, it's just so satisfying just to see that. I just love seeing cleaning content, and I get to make my own with House Flipper. And yes, you can actually have different options within, upgrading, your own, like upgrading your own like build when it comes to mops and gloves and stuff that you need to clean equipment, just recreating. And also, it's just such a satisfying game. Okay, I don't know what else to say. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know if it's just me, honestly, but personally for me, I really enjoyed this game. It's reality mixed with just like, just work, labored work that happens to be like, mundane in real life. But for some reason in the game, they made it so compelling. I don't know why. I don't know why. Am I going crazy? I think I am, because I put this in number 5, because I don't know. I don't know what you want from me. Okay. Okay. Now, if this was, I was literally about to put this in number 1, but then I know for a fact that most people are gonna be, putting me like in a in a padded room. Like, this guy's crazy. Like, I don't know. Like, oh my god. Like, no, but seriously, it's such an enjoyable game. Okay, maybe it's not for kids, maybe it's for adults like me that has priorities, I guess. But I enjoy that. Okay, House Flipper, don't just judge me, whatever. I don't care. I'm done. Okay, I'm done. Next up for number 4 is a game that I never thought that I would enjoy, but it's such a, like, there's this been thing with games that happen to have, like, snow sports, that happens to have it so compelling and just relaxing, especially when I played Alto back in the day. When I played this other game, I guess, in, like, I think it was on like a PC. It's just a snowboarding game, and it's so compelling. Like, I don't know what it is. And of course, I'm talking about this game that is not very known out there, but it is a gem. And pretty much you don't need to be into the sport to actually get into the game. It is called Grand Mountain Adventure. I really enjoy this. I really enjoyed Grand Mountain Adventure. I mean, look, I have never skied. I never snowboard. I never snow sports. Look, I live in California. Okay, the only sport I ever played, or I ever did in my life, and day to day, pretty much daily, every single day, well, it's just skateboarding, pretty much. If this was a skateboarding game, then of course it would make sense. But this is a skiing game. And they made it so compelling and nice. The music, just the chill, relaxed flow that it gives. Yes, I did play the trial version, but just like that, it gives you a good amount. The different routes that you can take, the different challenges, and all the possibilities of actually just no, especially with no tricks. I mean, you got a couple grinds, but it's just so relaxing just to hear that snow just surface. Like, I just enjoy it. And I'm not a skier, but for some reason I just find those kind of sports so compelling and so, like, satisfying to watch. So yeah, of course I have to put this because I don't know, I just really enjoy it. It's almost like you're witnessing a carnival that is recreated in front of you, and pretty much boat and playing it. Like, if this was like, some kind of like, oh, extreme sports game, but it's not. It's kind of like a very easy going, there's not a lot of tricks. There's not really a selection of music. It's kind of like, there's not really a culture really behind it, other than the fact that it's just a skiing game, a normal skiing game that is just relaxing, appealing. That's it. Plain simple. And I really enjoyed it. Next up for number 3. Oh boy, these games. These games that involve you with the auto shooters. You just, pretty much just, especially it's usually in portrait mode with these kinds of games. With one hand, and you pretty much just go places. Portrait mode of just auto shooters, and just you don't have to do much work. But for this game, due to how many, like, the amounts of hours that I played it, I just find myself knowing that, oh my goodness, this is actually kind of like one of the best out there. And I just like the cyberpunk like flow that goes with it. Okay, Super Clone, for me personally, is just a good arcade game that, if for some reason, if you can only put that in landscape mode within the game, the way it's laid out, then for some reason it just feels more of a realer game. I don't know, at least to me, because I just had like different weapons, different upgrades you can have with it, levels that you can go through that happens to go through a big amount. And I always try to find within the story because it, I guess the story kind of captivate me in some cases, even though it was a very simplistic kind of, trope. But for some reason, it hooked me in. Like this game kind of hooked me in. It's just a relaxing kind of like, and also good for podcasts. A lot of these games are good for podcasts. Something that involves you to actually hear the sound, especially with the two games I'm going to be talking about. But Super Clone is just, I don't know. It's actually just a very good arcade shooter. That is also auto shooter that happens to put in you know, a different base within its, own gameplay mechanics. And I don't know. Usually I wouldn't like these kind of games, but for some reason this one hits. This one hits. It's not Call of Duty. It ain't no cyberpunk, even though it's in a cyberpunkish world that it takes. But it's kind of it's a good time waster. It's not bad. It hidden. And overall it's addictive because I play it with so many hours. Like I just find myself lost because of the many like tricks and just like close moments that it has when like of course with games like this you can actually go through the whole level with just one health bar and you would just be fine. I don't know. I just find myself really enjoying the story and also the gameplay of the shooting mechanics or whatever it has you to do because it's a good game. Like I love the upgrades. I like how you get to have drones and also different abilities. It has more abilities than any other game that has this same mechanic. And it's beginning to be a trend, but this one does it well. This one seems to do it way better. And for number two, I gotta talk about number two because this one happens to be, uh, for me, I thought it was like at first when I downloaded it, I was like, okay, what is this? I felt so bad that I could have recorded the whole thing. I miss doing this. This is the game that I miss doing gameplays on, and I'm talking about Guardian Tales. If you've been in the mobile space for a long time, you probably you know have found a couple of people talking about this game or doing like some sort of like upgrades, especially for mobile channels, big ones out there, like, FG, 3000 made a bunch of videos of this and literally immediately says, you got to download this. And I agree. From playing it for like hours, I have to say that this is an automatic download. This has to be on your list for downloads because this game is so fun. It's hilarious. The stories that it gives is so like I like how catchy the gameplay is, especially how the different warriors collect and also how it brings so much value. For me, this game is so enjoyable and how the different like stories and different abilities that it has that is just so like it's so enticing. Like I just enjoyed this game so much because Guardian Tales like is pretty much when mobile gaming is just brings like such a bad light within gaming. For some reason, this one seems to bring such a good light because it's not really known much out there. But boy, is it's just addictive and just so fun. Like Guardian Tales just brings the fun back, I guess, within gaming, and you don't really see a lot of games like this do it this well. Like, like it just has even though with the gotcha mechanics and also the tropes that it has like with other mobile games, especially microtransactions, which is a big issue within gaming of any sorts, not just mobile. But for this one, it's just so good. Like there's different mysteries and different stuff that you come back. The replayability that it gives you is it's just worth it. I mean, hours with this game is worth it. And yeah, I'm not really finished with it yet, but man, it's just it just brings you back that excitement when you come back to play it. So I definitely recommend Guardian Tales. It is so good. So good. And of course, the number one spot. I don't understand how no one like literally you don't even it doesn't even need to be in a mobile game. I feel like in gaming in general, this is overall the best that I have ever played this, in 2020, honestly, because I'm recording this on 2021, thank God. But for this game, of course, is just not a surprise. Okay, I tried to actually make a video one time, and of course, with gaming and me personally, it's just not a good mix anymore because for some reason I don't do good with views when it comes to gaming. But with this one, it was never about the views. It was never about anything. It was about the enjoyment, the stories, the characters, the everything, the adventures. Genshin Impact. This game, like it could have been Game of the Year. It was nominated. Like I can't. It doesn't make sense why Among Us beat this game. Like no offense to Among Us, but get out of here with that. Genshin Impact is way better. It is way better of a game. Okay, can you imagine, like Zelda Breath of the Wild? People compare this to Zelda Breath of the Wild to the point where it's not even fun anymore. Like it's just an ongoing meme at this point. You don't even need to hear about these two games to know about that meme. Okay, but this one, Zelda Breath of the Wild, for free. I understand that it's literally almost the same concept. They probably bite it, but it doesn't matter. I don't need to spend any money when I have this game because of the many hours I spent on it, the surprises, the treasures, the everything. I don't know what it is. There's nothing really bad about this game. The music is so good. I use it for studying most of the time. I love the characters. Okay, do you look all day? And you also got Quailing and also other Chinese like names within that I can't really say. But the stories and just the world that it brings you and the community that is just slowly climbing, the characters, just the amounts you can collect, and you can actually get them like for free too. Like for this game, like the creators of it gave us so much, but it's almost like we give them little because it's free. This If this was a $70 game, if this was an $80 game, I would buy it. Even with that, it probably would sell still. And for this game, the fact that it's getting to the millions makes sense because it's such an amazing time waster. I have never been this much time on my phone for the longest time. And it's all because of Genshin Impact. It is such an amazing game. There's people just gushing over this game, not just me. Not just me. And I don't think you need to be a gamer at all. You don't need to look, whatever genre you're into, if you play this game, you would immediately enjoy it. And I understand. Yeah, Breath of the Wild could be better. Immortal Phoenix could be better. That new game that has the same mechanic as this. But for this one, for free on PC, on your phones, Android and mobile, and probably gonna be on the Switch. If it's on the Switch, then that's gonna be a heater. That's gonna be heat. That's gonna be like millions of more that they can get because they already sold millions on millions with this already alone with just mobile. But my goodness, I enjoy Genshin Impact so much. I just can't. I just can't. It's so heat. Oh man. Stop playing with me. Like you gotta check this game. This is a meal download. Now keep in mind it's kind of like a long download because of how big the game, but it's worth it. Like I think most of my gigs is wholly dedicated to this game to the point where I probably couldn't even record like 30-hour podcasts. But it doesn't matter because this game, like I it is worth it, okay? Like it is so good. This is the only time I'm ever fanboying about Genshin Impact ever, and I am fanboy for life for it. Okay? I'm with the Genshin gang, okay? But, that's just my list. That's just my list to show you what games are out there for you to enjoy. Because they are out there for you to enjoy, and they are bangers. Bangers. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Hope you subscribe, like, comment, all that jazz. More reads soon, more reviews, and all that good stuff. But in my heart, I don't know. I might come back to these gameplays some point because I just want to just fanboy all that long. Because these are, again, say it with me, bangers. Okay. I'll see you guys next time. Happy New Year's. Peace.